What's up, chat? Hello, and
Hey,
welcome
what's up, chat?
to Sunday. Sunday Dusk Hollow. We returned for our mini adventure with our wonderful players. We got Mr. Baz down below here. We got Grim. We got Magic. We got JJ Drax and Mr. Chicken. So what's up, friends? Hopefully everything is working. I think we have audio across there. We've got desktop audio. We've got mic audio. We should be good. Let me know if anything doesn't work or sounds wrong or all that usual good, awesome technological stuff. Wednesday night went very well. We had our Curse of Strahd Wednesday night. As we have our little adventure with Yanti on Friday night, Stormlord's Wrath, which was an interesting session as well. It didn't go well on Wednesday. It went well on Wednesday, just not so well for you, Drax. Well, I mean, to be fair, you died about a week or so ago, like 5 weeks ago, and we kept you in for another 5 sessions. So I think we did pretty well. But anyhow, so without any further ado, I don't think we have any more announcements apart from if you have got New World and you want to come hang out with our community, we do have a channel in the Discord, New World channel. It's got the server name and the region name that we're there. It's got the faction that we're with. We have got a company started, so if you do get New World, you want to come hang out with us, all the details are in the Discord. Which we will be definitely doing that. So tomorrow night, I will be streaming New World with probably some of the crew, if not all of the crew, would come and hang out. And doing some RPG stuff. Probably running my main character and getting ready to enter into my first dungeon. So that'll be kind of cool. Anywho, so back to the story at hand. So just a quick overall recap, because we have been away for a week, so I had a weekend off. The Curse of Dusk Hollow is a mini adventure where we have a party of adventurers, as you say, have been tasked and by their lord to aid a small township of Dusk Hollow, who have been attacked night after night by strange creatures and humanoids. Once arriving there, they were indeed attacked by, it seems, an undead ogre and several skeletons and zombies. The mayor and the captain of the town guard filled them in on the details and told them that this threat seemed to have been coming from the ruins of Delgareth, which was to the south of the township. The captain has accompanied the group along with Hexakara, who was another visitor to Dusk Hollow, who happened to aid them in the attack on the tavern, and has offered her services also. So last we left off, you had defeated the ghost creatures in the small embalming room. You then continued your investigations, following the tunnel deeper into the ruins, finding an old storeroom of such. Not much useful in it, but eventually happening along another narrow tunnel leading even deeper into the dark, damp dungeon. What you found there was a large ape-like creature with 4 arms, rotting flesh, skeletal features. Defeating it, leaving it dead in the corridor, continuing down that corridor, you entered into a large chamber. The stench of death and rotting flesh hung thick in the air. While there, you all heard a strange sound, and then after a short time, a large creature emerged from the pile of corpses, repeating, "Feed me," over and over again. Moriel, taking a bit of an initiative on this whole situation, uses levitate to bring the ape creature into the room and feeds it to the creature, which it hungrily devours what remains of the flesh on the bones. Doesn't seem satisfied, however. A little bit of discussion, and it was decided to possibly head back to the maybe where some more corpses might be. Creature was going to try and follow, which didn't really suit the whole group, unfortunately. Alba, finding this whole situation very indecisive, attacks the creature. Hexakara, not too happy about this, removes herself from the combat. It's kind of one of those things. The creature is destroyed. A bit of dissent comes over the group. Arguments backwards and forwards over what you were doing, how you were doing it, and where loyalties lie or not lie. And Steve storms off, essentially leaving the group and heading towards the entranceway. Alba follows, and after a short conversation convinces Steve to stay, but they decide to separate themselves for the evening, and they barricade themselves into the cultists' sleeping chamber. The captain comes to visit, has a chat, isn't able to convince them to rejoin the group, returns back to the storeroom, assuring that they are still there, but they're in another room. Again, more discussions about who is to lead the group. And I believe it was Moriel that was voted leader of the group. But eventually, sleep did come to you all. Nothing happened during the course of your rest. Several footsteps were heard passing by the storeroom and the sleeping quarters, but no one seemed to enter or even try to enter these rooms. Maybe they just didn't care that they had cultists missing, or they had dead bodies in the hallway. Maybe just more bodies for the fire, or so to speak. But nothing seemed to eventuate or happen. So, we now rejoin the group as you all start to awaken after your rest. And all is still quiet, save the sound of the echoey cave noises, the occasional dripping water, odd sounds of strange creatures can be heard echoing through these halls as well on occasion. You're almost becoming used to it at this point. But we will start with Steve and Alba, as you guys had bunked down, Alba in front of the door, Steve in front of the door, sorry, and Alba on one of the beds. And you had slept reasonably well, as well as you could in circumstances. But we will start with you guys. So now you're waking up. You've had something to eat, maybe something to drink in the morning. You know where the rest of your team is located. It's up to you what you wish to do at this point. But we'll just turn over to you guys as you wake.
Morning.
Morning. How are you feeling this morning?
Oh, yeah. Like I stepped on the ground.
Sounds about right.
What do you want to do?
Suppose we should go back, but do we have any plans or anything between us before we go back?
I'll stomach them out as long as you want me to.
Okay. Look, if it gets any worse, I'll be leaving with you, don't worry. We gotta try to look out for each other too if one of us get charmed. I don't know how, but
You know, I know I've already been charmed, so I don't know if they can do it again. I'm sure they probably can. They've been red spandex.
I haven't had the luxury to get charmed yet, thank goodness. I guess we just try our best to look out for each other.
Agreed.
If you're ready, let's go back, see what happens.
Sure. And I'm just gonna open the door and walk out without even doing.
Just walk out without even looking?
Nope.
So, I mean, yeah, you walk out into the hallway, you look down, as you sort of walk out, you look down the end of the hallway as far as you can see, and it seems all clear. As you look down the corridor where you came from, you can see the torches and everything there. Everything looks clear. You can't really see or hear anything. Roll a perception check for me. First roll of the night.
11.
Everything seems relatively clear.
Sweet. Go to join the others. Oh, sorry.
6 from Elba. Yeah, Elba, you don't see much more either. So I'll move you back down to the others because it makes it a little easier. I'll move you together. So as you come down, back down to the little room here.
Just before we enter.
Yep, I was going to ask you.
Before we enter, so you want to take a bet on whether Red Spandex has killed them all? In this week? I'll put 5 gold on the fact that they're all dead and she's the only one left.
No, honestly, I don't think she'll do that. She needs them for some reason. She's using us all for some reason, I've got a feeling, so I think they'll be alive. But for fun, I'll put 5 on there.
Do you want me to do what I do best when I enter the room?
Go for it.
Off come the clothes down to the thong.
All right, we'll hold you there.
The door and does
we'll hold you there. before any of this happens, we'll switch over to the sleeping group in the storeroom. You all start to wake. You've had a night's rest. Even though you're not sure what time of day it is, you're underground. Kind of hard to tell, but your body naturally wakes you after a reasonable night's sleep.
The captain's immediately going to sort through his rations, and one by one is going to offer, without saying anything, just food to everyone that's in this room, if they accept.
Oh, thank you, Captain.
Just gives you a nod.
Thank you, Captain.
No problem, Moriel.
Much appreciated.
Very well.
Bernessus would notice as he wakes up, Fuzzy, the glass orb, is tucked in beside him, sleeping beneath his feathers.
I think I've got your cat head, Miss Hexakara.
Oh, Fuzzy. He seems to like you, Benessus.
And the little orb rolls over back to Hexakara. She picks it up, patting it like a real cat.
If Benessus looks at Moriel, does he look unwell compared to how he did before we took a rest?
The
That would be up to Moriel.
long rest would have healed all wounds, so he's looking much the same as what you've seen him previously.
No worries.
So you all benefit, just as a point of reference, you all benefit from a long rest, so make sure you mark that down. Anything else you wish to talk about before the impending dancing elephant?
I'm imagining we're either going to be joined by our late stragglers or not at all.
I will be on my best behavior, Sir Moriel.
I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. Today, it's a new day.
And it's at this point, door swings open, and in dances Steve. Elba sort of slowly following behind him, but Steve wanders right into the centre of the room in his thong, jiggling his meaty elephant flesh.
The captain's going to be halfway through eating like a dried piece of jerky, and then he's going to notice Steve, and then he's just going to go, well, there goes my appetite.
I haven't even got any music to put with that. Try this one.
Glad to see you're full of beans. Sleep well, I take it.
Just gonna work them kinks out.
Okay. Has anyone got a blindfold? Oh, don't worry. I got one myself.
That wasn't even appropriate. Anywho.
What do you call it? Steve will grab his thong and say, I've got one right here.
Nope.
Right here.
For the love of God, keep that on. I don't want to throw up what I just ate.
Hexakara walks forward and she says,
Steve and Elba, we have had a chat, and it seems I might owe you an apology. Elba, I apologize if I was rude to you. Steve, I apologize if I was rude to you, and for anything else you might have thought done wrong. We have now agreed to follow Lord Moriel.
and she sort of bows with her hand facing Moriel and backs beside the captain.
You have control, you can move your tokens again now.
She will.
You wish to, it doesn't really matter in this room, but
The captain, it's just going to give a look to Alba and just give a reassuring nod.
You won't be able to tell whether Steve's nodding or twerking.
It's a little disturbing. Roll a performance check for me, Steve.
Come on, low number. Come on. Oh, 19.
He seems to be improving on his previous performance. Don't know how that's possible, but he's definitely improving.
Elba will nod back at the captain. Go up to we'll look back at Hex and go, I don't trust you, but apology accepted. But you do not ever charm me. If you charm me, you won't be coming after you, but coming after your little cat down there.
As part of
Intriguing.
last night's discussion, Hexakara has promised the group that no more mind games unless your permission has been granted. That is
Right.
for everybody in this room.
I don't think Sheriff might get my permission, but if she talks to me and makes me understand maybe it's best for me, I will maybe rethink my thoughts. And I'll be a bigger man as well. Say sorry for attacking that beast. I know if you think I was out of line for doing that, it's one of my first adventures. I seen it following it all. I got scared. I attacked.
Being
Apology accepted.
that I'm quite a small person and being big man is really hard for me, I'll try and be a bigger man. Still don't like that you charmed me, but I suppose we can work together.
Excellent. And she slaps you on the butt.
Now, the reason why my name was put forward is that even though we all came from the same area, other than the captain and Hex, it seems the last 24 hours has been, well, we've survived. From here on out, we need to get on the same page. We don't have to trust everybody. We don't have to like everybody. At the end of the day, the captain's here to do his job. Hexakara is here to do her job. And we're here to do what our Lord has tasked us to do.
Your
Whatever, Steve. Fact of the matter is you're being paid. We're all being paid. We all have talents. We all have skills, which is why we were brought here. If we have something to say that may aid the group, whether it's Captain having an idea, Hexakara having an idea, Banassus, Steve, or even you, Elba. We need to all understand when we make a move, we make a move as one. Because if we don't, what's waiting for us out there? So far we've been lucky. That luck will run out.
I have an idea. Steve, for your own well-being and the continuity of the group, could you get your clothes back on, please?
Oh my god.
I'll be back in a minute. Okay, go back into the hallway, pick up the clothes.
No worries.
And he's gonna walk. He's gonna pick up the crossbow from outside, and he's gonna walk in and say, "Hey, look what I found last time. I found it in the other room." Crossbow.
You know what? You can keep it as a sign of good faith.
Oh, that's sweet of you. Here, let me give you a hug.
No, again, I'm good. Handshake is fine, thank you.
He could put out his hand to shake his hand.
Captain's going to tentatively, being on guard for a hug, give you a handshake back.
And as he takes your hand, the trunk's going to go around your back and pull you under a hug.
Strength versus
Oh.
strength.
He's gonna call his jets and just let it happen just this
It's gonna
once.
let it happen.
Yeah, but he's seething, full of rage on the inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
Albert's
it's
gonna
roll really
try
low.
to join in to go, group hug everyone. He'll join in the group.
so
We
Steve
just discussed this.
Yes.
Oh.
Steve pulls the captain for a hug without his permission. Elba joins in. He's not comfortable. You can tell Steve he's not comfortable, but
I'm like, he'd be I'm rigid as a stick right now. I'm not giving you a hug back. I'm just.
is that awkward hug like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I hope it'll be over soon.
Fuzzy bounces out of Hexakara's hands and bounces up and amongst the hug between the bodies. Hex is like,
Oh, not me, but Fuzzy loves that sort of thing.
With holding Captain Morgan with his right hand, he's going to reach around his trunk around a Hexakara and pull her in too. And the trunk's going to go right down and grab some rear end.
Up to you whether you resist Hex.
Hex would definitely resist.
Strength versus strength.
Hex would resist via
That 20, 19. Strength.
Hex is going to resist via fireball. No, kidding.
I mean, if you've got another ability that you could use to get out of that besides strength, if you could explain it, I'm more than happy to roll something else.
Well,
Or maybe even Dex.
She's standing beside or just behind the captain as the trunk moves around. I assume she would see it.
Yeah.
She's going to say,
If I cannot telepathically hit your minds, you cannot hug me.
and give him the choice if he continues.
Steve, continue.
I'm going to need longer than 6 seconds to decide.
No, you got 6 seconds.
Albert's just
Otherwise, if the trunk grabs her, she won't fight.
Alright. He's going to not hug her. Gonna hug the lower ball, the cannonball.
Yeah, no, the cat's already up there. In
Yeah.
amongst all there. The cat's already up and amongst all that. So, anything else before we move on?
I'm gonna wait outside. Let me know when you're finished.
I shall join you, Benessus.
The Bernassus and Hex. As you stand outside waiting for this all to be over, can I get you both to roll a perception check for me?
Did Moriel get sucked into that hug too?
I don't think so.
He's just standing there.
He's there,
No,
but
he's not-
he's sort of
off the
there-ish.
door.
We got a 14 and a 4.
She's too preoccupied going,
Fuzzy, come back here.
and Fuzzy bounces out of the hug and rolls over to her.
Bernassus, even though everyone can hear this, only you can hear this. You sort of step out to the hallway and you sort of look both ways, and all of a sudden you just hear a heartbeat. First you think it might be your own because it's in your ears, it's quite loud. But then you realise it's like, no, that's not me. It seems to be coming from everywhere. But you look at Hex and she's sort of just looking around, sort of waiting. She doesn't seem to be hearing it either, not that you can tell.
That's really unsettling.
What is really unsettling?
The heartbeat, can you hear? It's coming from everywhere.
Oh, how quaint. You feel Or squishy inside because of the hug fest?
It's not. We should probably head off.
And as you're talking, it slowly fades and stops.
I don't make the decisions anymore, Benessus. We must wait for the group.
So, hugging finishes, probably to the captain's relief.
Yep. Oh, thank dear.
I'll turn it over to the group. Your decision on where you go and which way and what you do.
I think it's prudent we carry on now. Let's finish this job.
Alright, which way do we go, Magic Feathers?
Moriel will just walk down to the end of that corridor
Okay.
before we turned off to where the Ottertag was.
So that's the first corridor.
Yep.
There.
The captain is going to walk. He's going to wait for everyone to leave the room. And as they do, he's just going to do a little jig of joy that everyone's kind of working in a symbiotic relationship and walk out the room. And then I'd like to walk up to Moriel as well if I can.
Okay. So put you guys, Moriel's roughly where he said he wanted to be. So put yourselves in the position where you think you would be in relation to him at this point before we move any further.
And as Moriel moves away and the captain's heading to him, just before the captain gets there, Hicks would just discreetly to Moriel say,
Is it clear if I keep telepathic link with you?
Of course.
so
Your counsel is valuable.
What's up, Josh?
Sweet. So unless I say otherwise, DM, I'll
Yep.
be telepathically linking with Moriel the whole time.
Not a
When it runs out,
problem.
I'll just reapply because it's free. So
No drama.
Yeah, Captain walking past and up to Moriel and Hex will then get to Hex and look at her and through gritted teeth just go, thank you for this morning. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yep, say no more. And he's going to walk on forward. He's going to get to Moriel and he's going to go, I personally would like to thank you for bringing everyone together. Would you like to advise the group on a marching order, perhaps?
I think that is wise. Why don't you take lead with Alba?
Okay, it's done.
I'll move you guys into your positions at the moment. So at the front, we're going to have Moriel, Captain Moore, sorry. Alba.
Moriel will stay second line because if he needs any heals or anything like that, he wants to be able to
Oops.
get maximum close proximity to the group.
So let's put that there. So roughly there. Who's going to be sort of following up? Just maybe Hex in the middle-ish?
Yeah, I'd say
that's where definitely Hicks would like to be if she can, if
I'll-
Moriel agrees.
I would probably say Benassus with Hex, Steve with me.
Oh, selecting too many.
A question. My lowered hit points, maximum hit points, would that change with the long rest?
Yes, you would have you would back up to your regular, whatever you started at before.
Okay, Speedos, thank
I
you.
forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. So, with that marching order, we'll just keep that marching order. I'll move you guys tokens. You give me an idea of which direction you're going to move for the time being so we can keep our order somewhat until we get into something more interesting. So,
Captain, What do you recommend? Where do you think we should go?
Well, we can finish searching the room of bodies, or we can walk straight ahead. It's up to you. I don't mind.
I don't think we need to explore the body room anymore. There was nothing more in there other than the body and what was already in there. I say we carry on.
All right, straight ahead. I have a feeling that directly to our right, that would lead back and circle round to the front.
So indeed, you see a corridor here on my marker. You also see a turn and here leading into a slightly narrower opening by this torch.
Yeah, the captain would point down there and he would say, I have a feeling that just swings back round to the front. Maybe going ahead is the best course of action.
If we need to, we can clean up on our way through.
So,
If we all agree, shall we proceed forward?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Sure
Yes,
thing.
let's
so
go.
you wish to
Then
proceed. Give me
lead
a
the way,
marker, Captain Moore. How far do you want to go down that corridor? Give me a
That way.
rough marker.
That away.
Okay, so you guys move down this corridor. Because I've moved you past the wall, it's going to show you the outside of the wall, but no problem. We're going to get you into here, this point. So you move into this room. As you enter, however, we need to read off a little thing here as we add some creatures here as well. What has not worked the way it's... Oop. Second. What? Not good. So that... Okay, give me a second, guys. I might have to do this. Delete. Oh. Not exactly where they should be, but I'm going to move them to where they are anyway. So as you guys walk into this room, in this chamber you again smell the stench of death. Several skeletal creatures can be seen around this room. One, a pile of remains, skeletal remains here in this cage. Another larger strung out on the rack, and two creatures hanging from a makeshift gallows on this side of the room. And another, and what looks to be an Iron Maiden of sort. One door sort of shut, the other's open, but you can see what remains of a skeletal creature inside. And another standing, well, and sort of leaning against the wall, chained up against the wall there. As you enter the room, you all watch this one slowly start to reform. You also notice this one on the table there starts to move. The two on the gallows slowly reach up, grab the rope with one hand, and with the other reach up with rusty old sword of some description, cut the rope and drop themselves to the ground. Loud screeching iron on iron as the door on the Iron Maiden swings open and a creature steps out of it and steps forward.
The captain's seeing this, and the dead end is going to turn back to Moriel and just say, I'm so sorry.
You weren't to know, but we get to have morning practice.
So, I will get you all to roll initiative.
As we roll initiative, Hicks says,
This reminds me of my room when I was a teenager.
So we have everyone's initiative in, by the looks of that. Make sure we've got all our creatures available. We'll zoom in here for the viewers at home. So, with that, as the creatures stir and rattle and start to move, this one getting the drop on you as you sort of watch him stand up, and he shoots forward into the group, straight into both Elba and Captain Moore being in the front, and he takes his strike at you, Captain Moore. And he will attack you with a short sword, which I believe will miss with an 8. Oh my god, the rolls. But he will miss. Next up is this guy. He will move forward. Elba, you're up after this dude. Moves forward to there. Stands and will actually take a shot at you, Elba, with his short bow, which would be a 15 to hit. Does that hit you?
No.
No. Strikes your armor. Pings off to the side. That is his turn done and dusted. Next up is Elba, as your turn, sir. And next up will be another skeleton, but after that will be Bernasis.
I will smack the one right in front of us, or attack Captain with my maul.
No worries. Attack with your maul, sir.
21.
21 hits. Roll your damage.
With 11 damage.
11 bludgeoning damage. I will say, because it's bludgeoning damage and it is a bag of bones, you decimate the creature with a single blow, raising your hammer above your head, or the maul above your head, bringing it straight down onto its skull. It basically sends the skull back down through the clavicle into the ribcage, down through the floor, and scattering it across the floor.
Am I allowed to move?
You have movement. You can move, and I believe you've still got one attack. So if you're able to get to another creature, you can still strike with your second attack.
My movement's 30, yeah?
Yep.
I'm gonna go for the one that tried to shoot the bow at me.
Is that one there?
This one. Yep. I don't know how to check my movements, I've forgotten. But I think I can make it there.
You can make it there easily enough, yeah.
Okay. I'll move up to that guy and just do the same thing.
It's only
Go
15 feet, so you got plenty of movement.
Do the same thing, hit straight down on him.
Yep. Smash him with the maul.
18
That hits. Elba surges forward, maul raised high.
and 8 damage.
Not quite enough to kill this guy this time, but nonetheless, he is looking hurt. I would say you've even probably shattered several ribs and maybe even one arm, so he's not looking good at all.
And I'll end there because I can't do nothing else.
Next up is this skeleton. He is going to surge forward there and strike at you with a short sword. With 17 to hit, which does not hit because you are 18. So it strikes your armor once again. Vanassus, you're up. Steve on board.
Alright. I am going to cast Shatter at 2nd level, which is a sphere, as we worked out last time. Right here.
So Shatter as a sphere. How big?
10-foot radius.
That will get both of those skeletons.
Yep, so they need to make a Constitution saving throw.
On save. Which is a 19.
Oof.
Make a collective roll for them. I'll make separate rolls. That's one. One will save. We've got time. There's not many of them, so we'll make 2 rolls here. So one will save, one will fail. So we'll say this one will save and this one will fail.
Alright, so full damage on one, half on the other. You roll.
Roll your damage. And what type of damage is it?
It is
It is
so
bludgeoning
14
or force?
14 damage of, what does it say?
Either force or bludgeoning.
Thunder.
Thunder. Just as good. So 14 is so this guy saves. He'll take 7, and so we'll just remove that. Why can't I target those? Because I got a wrong button. So he will take 7 points, and this guy is shattered completely. Bones hitting Elba's armor. Ting, 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 ting.
Alright, and I will leave my turn there.
It is your turn. Next up is the skeleton before you, Steve. So we're going to have this skeleton come to here. He is going to be the first one out there, unfortunately, Albert. So another short bow attack on you for a 15, which will also miss off the armor. Doing very well. Steve, you're up. Captain Moore on board. And Moriel to follow.
Okay, yeah, sweet. So I was reading stuff. And totally not paying attention. Now I'm distracted by something else. Geez. I'm going to move to there.
Yep.
I'm going to break out that crossbow again.
No worries.
And
Which one are you targeting?
probably going to shoot at one of them. Shoot at one in front of
Roger that.
Mel.
Roll to hit.
With 11 to hit.
That will miss.
Sweet.
Strikes the cage behind it. You're still not used to this bow. Taking a bit of getting used to. Is that your turn, or do you have another attack? Oh, that's two-handed, isn't it?
Two-handed, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's two-handed. I'm just gonna call out to Alba. Man, you're doing well. You're kicking ass.
Is that your turn, Steve?
And I'm gonna end my turn.
Captain Moore, you're up. Moriel on board.
Can't move for some reason. Okay. It's kind of weird. Anyway, now I can. Captain's gonna move up to there. Make an attack. Strike on that one.
Attack him!
Try to cleave down with his long sword. Long sword?
Long sword? Jesus. Long sword, even.
13 to hit, hopefully.
13 will hit.
Fantastic. Oh, great. First one being a total of 4 damage.
4 slashing damage. Not quite enough to kill it, but it's looking pretty rough.
That's fantastic. He's then gonna bring his sword upwards as he's come from a downward cross chop.
Yep.
And try to strike straight.
So strike down, then strike sort of a backwards, upward strike.
For a
No
10.
worries.
which will miss.
10 will miss. Strike
Alright.
nothing but rotted old leather armor, but it seems to do the trick. Is that your turn, Captain?
That is definitely my turn.
Moriel.
Okay. Moriel is just going to cast Chill Touch on that one there.
No problem.
For an 18.
18 on which one, sorry? The big
This one
one?
here.
That one? Okay. 18, that definitely hits.
7 points of necrotic.
7 points of necrotic damage. Double check something here. Nope, we're good. 7 points of necrotic damage as the skeletal hand, I believe, surges forward, grasps the creature, grabs it tight. You can hear the bones cracking, and then you can see that necrotic energy just releasing into the creature. Anything else?
That is it. Just for DM note, because he's undead, it will have if it attacks me, it has disadvantage until my next turn.
But if it attacks you,
Yes.
cool, no drama. Next up,
But that is all I can do for now.
no worries. Next up is the large creature who steps off this and moves forward, pushes in between these two skeletons and strikes out at you with a massive great axe, Elba. First attack, the 25 to hit, doing 17 points of slashing damage.
Cool.
Swings back with a backward swing this time. Misses with a 12. I also need Captain Moore to make a Constitution saving throw, please. As the creature swings back and forth with his axe, turns his head and stares directly at you, and the light blue sort of haze from his eyes intensifies. That is a failure.
Oh shit.
You take 35 points of cold damage as the inside of your body almost super freezes from whatever this look is. And you are now paralyzed and unable to move as your limbs lock up.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
I'm sorry, dude. But that is its turn. Hexakara, it is your turn.
Hexakara sees the damage being done. She holds Fuzzy forward and she says,
Elba, you're on board after Hex.
I can see the light through their bones. Can't we, Fuzzy? And as Fuzzy's pointing forward, its eyes glow red, and she casts Hex's Scorcher,
which is pretty much just the regular Scorcher, straight through a 30-foot line. So I don't know if you can see that line I'm drawing on the page.
No, I cannot.
How do I make you see that?
I don't. Go to your. Not the measurement controls, but there's measurement controls. That's the one.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
So straight through them, three there.
Yep.
And they have to make Dex saves.
This is for the giant skeleton.
They need 15s.
19, natural
So he'll
20.
take half damage.
For the giant skeleton, natural 20. For the little guys, I'll make just one roll for them both. With a natural 19. So
Okay.
half damage for them all.
So they all take 6 fire damage as the fire rages between them.
So 6 fire damage for them all.
Correct.
Move him so I can target this other dude. One is destroyed. The small one's destroyed outright there. Both small ones are destroyed, engulfed in flames. The big dude, however, check something here. No, he's good, so 6 damage for him. Doesn't seem to have taken much damage, but it definitely took some damage.
Hicks sort of just calls out, "I've cleared the line, Captain Alba. It's up to you."
So,
It's up to her.
for you, Alba, we've got another one coming in. Last of the little skeletal creatures sneaks in there, makes his short sword attack at you, Alba, missing with a 12. Alba, it's your turn. Banassus on board with Steve after.
Question.
Yes.
Can I use an action to move the captain?
Can you use an action to move the captain? What, you want to try and move him away from this creature?
Yeah.
If you
Pick him up.
It would be a strength check to pick him up, and if you wanted to move away, you'd both get. The creature would have an attack of opportunity on you if you wanted to move away from it, because you were both standing pretty much within melee range of it.
Yeah, okay, I just might do that and try to take it out then.
Okay, so you're going to attack the larger.
Yeah.
Cool. Roll to hit.
No, 9.
That will miss. Actually, no, that will hit. Sorry.
Oh shit.
He's big. He's slow, so he's easy to hit.
11 damage.
11 bludgeoning damage from your maul. So the one thing you notice is the sound of cracking bones as your maul strikes this creature just on probably one of the thigh bones. A large crack appears, and you see instantly that your weapon in particular seems to be really good against these skeletal creatures. Your second attack.
I'll do that again then. Oh, 8.
Natural 1
Oh.
for an 8. That will definitely miss.
Yep.
But he manages to parry with his large axe, stopping your second blow. He's not happy. And releases a cold energy from his breath. It's icy cold on your face. You can feel it. Captain's standing there, unmoving still. Banassus, you're up. Steve, you're on board. Captain Moore to follow.
What can I do? Magic missile. We'll do magic missile at 2nd level. So he's like patting himself down, and he takes him a while. He's like, yeah, magic missile.
Magic missile?
Yep. At the big
dude.
Yep.
So that automatically hits.
Yep. So that's 4 darts of force damage. I will roll. I won't let you roll them all at once. 3, 5. So that is 8, 12, 15.
15 points of force damage. He is going to use a reaction to, again, opens his mouth, seeing these beams, these darts snaking towards him, breathes out another wave of cold energy, which will reduce his damage by half. Almost freezes them and slows them down somewhat before they hit. They still hit him, but they don't do as much damage. So that will be 7 points instead of 15.
And then I will move just next to Morial.
No worries. Next up is Steve. Captain Moore on board after that, which you can't really do anything. You're paralyzed.
So is the little guy attacking Alba?
Yes.
So does that mean I could sneak attack him if I got close enough?
Yes. You could actually, if you hit him with a crossbow, you still get sneak attack.
Yeah, no, I was gonna not hit him with a crossbow.
Yep. If you wanted to get up there, you'd get sneak attack because you have an ally within 5 feet of the target.
Magic, man. Not with the ruler, I won't. I'm gonna move to there. And then I'm going to sneak attack that guy there.
A roll to attack. So you just roll attack as normal.
14 to
That hits.
I thought that was a 1.
So that hits. Roll your damage and then roll your sneak attack damage. The 6,
6.
and then 8. So that is a total of 14 points. One sneak attack. You rock in there, that taking its distracted nature to your advantage. Drive the dagger up to where you would think maybe the liver or the kidneys are, around the side into the side of the ribcage there, pushing it through and ripping it back out through the spine, severing the spine in the process, killing it instantly.
So since I've got the other thing that was 2 weapon fighting,
You have an offhand attack
can I move
as a
and
bonus
attack
action.
that guy?
You've still got movement left, so you
Still
can.
got-
Yep. So I would allow you to use your offhand attack on the big dude. You just don't get your bonus. You don't get your modifier. That's all.
Yeah.
It's just straight dagger damage.
With
A natural
that
1. That'll miss.
That'll miss.
So yeah, you get in there, but you manage to find the top of his boot. He's a big dude. He's almost as tall as the ceiling in here, and the ceiling arches up into sort of 18, 20 feet, and he's a giant. Like, he's almost 18 feet tall himself. Massive. Slow moving, but big.
I'm just going to yell out, "Hey, Fatso, over here! Look at me!"
Roll intimidation.
With, 19.
Not bad. As far as you know, you're intimidating as all hell. Captain Moore, you take a further 18 points of cold damage as your insides are completely frozen. You are still paralyzed. You are unable to move, but you appear to be freezing from the inside out, and it is very painful.
Tell my wife and kids I never loved them.
Moriel, you're up. Hex on board.
Moriel immediately moves behind Elba and the captain, seeing the captain take bucket load of damage.
Yeah, you can see his skin is starting to ice over. He's turning a very, very pale blue.
He will cast at the 3rd level Cure Wounds.
Roger that.
For 13 points of healing damage.
Captain, you take 13 points of healing. Doesn't subside the pain, but you think you can survive a little longer.
As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Spiritual weapon. Where would you like to cast spiritual weapon?
Pretty much around there. And what everybody will see is a sigh rise up from the ground. And Moriel imitates the swing as the spiritual weapon attacks.
Roll
For a
your
19 to
damage.
hit.
That hits. You have control of the spiritual weapon as well. You can move it wherever you need to.
For 11 points of, I think that's force damage. Yeah, force damage.
11 points of force damage. So it takes that damage indeed. More bones can be heard cracking as the spiritual weapon does its job. Is that your turn, Moriel?
That is my turn, but he will yell out, if anyone can free the captain of his ailment, it would be much appreciated.
It is now the giant skeleton's turn once again. It is going to make a sweeping strike. Steve, as you called out and All the Vatso, he turns and looks at you. Uah! Sweeping attack, you as his target. First, 17 to hit. Does that hit you? That hits you. 33 points of slashing damage.
I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge to half the attack.
Okay, so you take 16 points of slashing damage, as does Elba, as the attack sweeps through. Actually, Elba, no, you don't. You're on 18 the AC, so you manage to stop that sweeping through with your shield. Second attack, same thing. 27 to hit. 12 points of slashing damage. 6 points to you, Elba, as the follow-through reaches your armor as well.
I suppose I can use Uncanny Dodge again.
It's a reaction. It's only once per turn.
Alright, sweet as.
So you'll take the full 12 on that.
Sweet.
Once more, the creature turns. Actually, no, he doesn't. He focuses on the source of the intimidation. Elba, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please, as he turns his stare on you. That would be a failure. Elba, you take 35 points of cold damage. And you are also now paralyzed.
Fuck. Sweet.
As you guys watch as this creature turns and stares directly at Steve, the eyes glowing white again, and you watch as Elba's body stiffens and starts to ice over. Hex, your turn. Elba on board.
Hex looks at the group. She grins. Then she holds Fuzzy forward and says, and Benessus you would hear as she whispers, "La la 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 la, I wish you were dead." And she casts dissonant whispers inside the skeleton creature's head. It must make a wisdom saving throw, a 15.
Wisdom save of 15. Not very wise. Fails with a 10.
It takes 8 psychic damage. And I believe
How much psychic damage?
8.
8.
Throwing very low tonight.
8 psychic damage. As the whispers start whispering through the air. You hear him, see him shaking his head.
And it must immediately use its reaction to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
No problem. So it will move probably about there is about as far as it can get. So Elba, you'll get an attack of opportunity. The others do not, however, because they are frozen. Moriel, your spiritual weapon will also get an attack of opportunity. So Elba will resolve yours first. So one single melee attack from you, please.
I'm not frozen.
Elba's not frozen. Steve's
I
frozen.
thought you said I was paralyzed.
No, Steve.
You said Alba's frozen.
Yeah, I know. I meant you.
Ah.
Okay, well, sweet.
Old
Hey,
man
I'm frozen.
detected.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you took the steer.
24.
So yeah,
Okay, sweet. That's one.
you're frozen. Sorry, Steve. My bad. Slip of the tongue. So 24. That does hit. To roll your damage.
10.
10 points damage. My bad. There was a slip of the tongue.
No, good.
And actually, that was bludgeoning damage, so it will take that. It's starting to look pretty rough from your position. Moriel, your spiritual weapons attack of opportunity.
25 to hit.
That hits.
For 4 points of force damage.
Every little bit helps. That is you, Hex.
Yes, Hicks just moves forward a bit by the cage where she can just keep the creature in line of sight.
Right. As it is now that pretty much the end of that, we're back to the initiative 20. Captain Moore, your body releases. You drop to your knees. So you're effectively prone at this point, as the ice seems to just leave your body, not still leaving you cold. Like, you're cold, you're internally frozen, you feel horrible, but you're no longer paralyzed. You're good. Albert, it's your turn.
I'll use my crossbow. Better play smart.
So you're going to use your crossbow. Let's see. You got
22.
22 definitely hits.
With 9 damage.
9 piercing damage. Doesn't seem to do as much damage as your maul, but it does damage.
With the 2 attacks, can I use my crossbow again, or is that just...
It's a light crossbow, yes. Well, the 2 attacks is regardless whether it's light or heavy. You have 2 attacks in the action, so
I'll hit it for crossbow. Try hit it for crossbow again then.
go for it.
13.
That will hit.
With only 3.
3 points. Again, every little bit of damage helps. Is that your turn, Elba?
I'll just move a little tiny bit.
Yep. Move yourself where you need,
Just
where you want to be.
protect the captain. Like stand in front
yeah.
of it for the monster.
Okay, cool.
And I'll
Vanassus, you are up, and Steve, you're on board, although you are paralyzed.
So I will go over to the captain and... Actually, no. I will go over to Steve, sorry. And I will use my action to give him a health potion. Can I do that from my belt?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Yep, so that'll be my action, and then he'll be like, this is really stupid, and he's gonna go on this side of Steve, and that'll be my turn. So I'll roll the healing damage. Steve gets 7 points of healing damage. And that is my turn.
That's your turn? No worries. So, Steve, you get a heal. Steve, your turn. I'll get you to roll a con save for me. So I balls up the last one, and I think it was Alba that actually rolled it and not you.
Still freaking low. 5.
You still failed it. So we'll say you're still paralyzed, but you won't take the full damage that you would have taken this round. So you'll take 9 points of cold damage. You are still paralyzed at this point. Captain Moore, it is your turn. Moriel on board.
The captain on his knees, probably shaking a little bit from fear. Moriel right next to him can hear him say to himself, "Come on, you're the captain." And he's going to take a breath in, and he's going to use second wind as a bonus action.
No worries. Self a little bit of a boost.
For 9 points of healing, which will definitely help.
Captain, why don't you wait a moment? Hold your action. Let me heal you first.
Ooh. He's gonna look at you and go, "As you command." And he's gonna stand down and pick himself back up. Alright, you say go, I go. I'm taking this bastard down. And that's his turn. He's just gonna wait.
Moriel, you're up.
Hold his action, I meant.
Moriel's gonna move in the middle. Which hopefully, I just want to double check. Yep, 5
5. Actually, no. How touch is 5 foot, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to twin spell 2nd level cure wounds on both the captain and Steve. Second level, I will get 12 points of healing damage each. As my bonus action, spiritual weapon is going to surge forward to
No
swing
problem.
and attack.
Better. Swing away.
9.
That hits.
Perfect. For a further 10 points of force damage.
Done. It's looking pretty rough, but it's still up.
Captain, if you're feeling better, he's all yours.
I can do it for you anyway, JJ, if it comes down to it. Right, so next up is the giant's turn.
Wasn't the captain waiting
Did you-
after I'm done?
Did
Yeah,
you
holding
hold
his
an action?
Yeah, I was gonna hold an attack and waiting for Mario's command
Okay.
to go.
You've got that command, so the action is yours.
Great, I just got enough movement. The captain's gonna charge in, roaring, feeling better. And he's gonna take 2 swings at this dude.
Go for it, sir.
Fantastisch. Okay. First one to hit. 12.
Hits.
Second one. 14.
It's
First one, 5 damage.
5 slashing.
And the second one is 4 slashing.
So total of 9 slashing. Hack.
And-
Bone, hitting bone both times, chipping bits of bone off. Taking the damage.
I don't know if you'd allow me to, because it's not really my action, but would you allow me to action surge on this one? I am out of turn though, that's the only thing.
Yeah, I think you'd have to use that. How would you rule that in your games, Baz? I'm not sure.
So he's held the action.
He's held the action and then
he stated what he's going to do with the action.
yeah, bonus, because it's a bonus action to action surge, so
It's really up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, basically.
Actually,
he's
fuck
held
it.
his turn.
why not? Go for it.
Okay, great, fantastic.
I'll allow it.
I would have allowed it in my
Yeah.
game too, but I didn't want to make the call.
I think it's feasible. You've held your action. You've held off your turn. I think you should be able to use your full turn.
Right, he's definitely gonna action surge for this one, and he's
2
gonna
more
try
attacks.
he's gonna try and leap off of its giant knees and strike straight down the middle, trying to split it
Okay.
in 2 if you can. For a first hit.
Precision hits 19. That hits.
Second hit is a
Misses. The second misses. But you managed to just do a quick athletics check for me.
Okay. 16 for the athletics.
That's pretty good. You managed to jump, foot on the knee, jump up, and bring that first blow down onto his clavicle.
For
Roll-
a total of 13 damage.
13 damage. Doesn't do as much as you'd hoped. It does enough. Not enough to kill it. But you managed to land. Second strike as you land, catching nothing but a parry of a great axe. Creature's still standing.
And then the captain's gonna yell at him on the way down. He's going, "Come on, you big bag of bones! I'm right here."
He accepts your challenge, raising his great axe, striking down at you with a 23 to hit.
Yeah, fuck that.
28 points of slashing damage with a downward strike, arcing high, coming down with force. Second, 22 to hit.
Yep.
With 21 points of slashing damage. As he comes down with the first, bang onto the top of your body, brings it backhand across your chest. I would say probably sending you prone again to the ground with such force. Are you unconscious?
not just prone, but also limp, unmoving.
So as the limp body of the captain is slammed to the ground by this creature, it raises the axe. Eyes glowing once again. Vernassus, you happen to be the closest. Constitution saving throw from you, please. That is a failure. 35 points of frost damage as your insides freeze and you are frozen in place and paralyzed. That is its turn. X, you're up. Elberg, you're on
Yes.
board.
She sees the captain at the deck. Hicks holds Fuzzy forward and says, "No, not my captain." And Fuzzy would glow and she would once again, "I said, I wish you were dead." And in her head she says, "Wish you were dead." Dissonant whispers to the creature at third level. It needs to
Third
make a
level.
wisdom saving throw.
Dissonant whispers start to ring out again. Wisdom save. Fails with a 6.
21 psychic damage.
Hexakara. Describe the demise of the frost giant skeleton as your dissonant whispers reach its mind.
Anyone looking her way or even hearing her cry out as the captain hits the deck, as she's just repeating, "I said die, now you die. Inside your head you die." And its head starts to rattle, its jaw rattles as it was sort of doing that glare at Vernassus, and then the bones just shatter and explode apart as it crumbles to the ground. And Fuzzy rolls over amongst the middle of the bone as the incantation ends.
And that is the end of our combat as well, as things now return to more quiet. Vernassus and Elba, as the creature dies, you both feel your bodies release from the cold. You still feel the cold within, but you are now both not paralyzed.
Moriel runs straight over to the captain and use Spare the Dying, which will, if it's at 0 hit points, creature becomes stable.
No problem. So you are not having to make saving throws, Captain. You are stable.
Fantastic. Am I out for X amount of hours, like 1d4 hours, or?
No,
Oh, okay, cool.
Does anyone have any healing, Moriel?
you're just unconscious until someone heals you.
Yes.
You just to let everyone know, you all would see a satchel on the captain's back, and you'd know that he has potions that he gave one to Steve a while ago.
I also wear them on my belt I mentioned last game.
Moriel, if you do not wish to waste a spell, we can utilize one of these potions of his.
Let's do that instead. Unless we're prepared to rest up. And we've only just started.
We've only just begun.
She takes a potion from her satchel and hands it to you, Moriel.
I've got 3 potion of healing greater, and I've got 3 normal ones.
I will
he'll-
hand you normal one, probably.
Alright, then he will give the captain one of the normal healing potions.
Okay.
So even with I mean, the whole unconscious thing in potions kind of irks me a little bit, but we'll allow it. You open the captain's unconscious mouth and pour a potion down his gullet. He spits and sputters, but he manages to get some of it inside, bringing him back to consciousness.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, crap. Is everyone okay? Is everyone alright? I hurt a lot.
That
Oh,
was super heroic of you, Captain, and also kind of stupid. They're often the same thing.
I apologize, I admit, but I was filled with confidence. I regret everything at this moment.
Mm.
Captain's gonna struggle to his feet, just grunting and groaning as he gets up.
You did fine, Captain. That was wonderful. Everyone is alive.
Yeah, I just usually, when I swing my sword, it hits a lot more, and I had nothing connected. I don't know what that thing's made of.
Fuzzy's rolling around in it, she says.
Looks to be bone, am I correct, Lord Moriel?
Yeah, Moriel will, I suppose, investigate or do a check to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to see that these are all skeletal figures. The smaller ones you've encountered, you encountered some of them with the patrol, reanimated bones for use for protecting, just being around, just causing general mayhem. But this larger one has a similar look in size to the creature a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, sorry, than the creature you fought in the first room. Its abilities. Everyone roll a history check. See if anyone has any idea of what the creature may have been in life. So we've got 16, Hex with a 7, 14, 12. So those over a 15. So we've got Captain Moore and Moriel. Would Captain Moore, you've probably in your time as a soldier, and even before you became captain of the Dusk Hollow Town Guard, you've fought giants before, and you know the variants of them. You got the frost giants, the hill giants, stone giants, and Moriel, I'd say you've definitely read about them and may have encountered them at some point in your life. But this is definitely a frost giant, reanimated frost giant. Its abilities are definitely similar, but it seems to be maybe slightly mutated, possibly. But then again, necromancy is definitely not natural anyway.
This is more than what a frost giant, reanimated or not, should have been able to do.
With that, Banassus will limp over and grab a sample, as it does.
Roll a nature check for me, Banassus. Nature or medicine, your choice.
Nature. 11.
What type of sample is Banassus looking for? Bone? There's no flesh. It's all was just bone and armor and weapon.
Probably just a bit of bone.
Bit of
Maybe
bone?
like a chip where it shattered.
Yeah, easily enough. There's plenty of bone fragments from it from where Captain Moore had struck it, in fact. He'd hacked away a few chunks of bone, so easily enough to add some frost giant bone fragments to your inventory. I mean, looking around the room, the armor is definitely what armor these skeletons had is long rotted, long rusted. Weapons as well. The giant axe, the giant great axe that this creature was wielding, far too big for any of you to carry. But it looks like it's been around for a long time as well. But definitely, you can tell that Captain Moore can probably attest more personally that the weight of it striking the body, even if it's probably dull, is still enough to do some pretty severe damage, as his wounds were quite evident. In fact, what type of chest plate are you wearing?
Splint.
Splint? Yeah, you'll probably find your armor's pretty damaged, like pretty beat up. And you're definitely going to need a repair when you get back. It won't. I won't lower your AC, but
yeah,
it's on the verge. If you took another attack like that from something of that size, it would probably lower your AC a little bit. It's definitely damaged your armor.
Steve will go over to here and over to where the thing died and collect arrows.
What do you roll in Yanti's campaign for collecting arrows or for finding arrows?
D6.
We'll do the same thing here. Roll a D6. How many did you fire?
I fired one, but
You
I
fired
got
one?
2, so I get a second one off the body, which would be what's his name?
Yeah, we'll say that.
So, you get one which you probably stuck into this wall over here since I fired it from over there.
Roll another D6 for me. Odds it's damaged and it's not usable, and evens it's okay. It struck concrete.
2.
Seems okay. For striking concrete seems relatively... It should be able to be reused.
Maybe.
Maybe we should take a short rest so those that are injured can mend some of their wounds.
Yeah, yes, please.
So,
Hicks walks
Hicks.
amongst the giant skeleton bones on the ground, and she kneels down, puts her hand on the broken skull, picks up Fuzzy and says,
Oh, giant skeleton thing. I apologize I did not ask first before entering your mind.
and then she stands up and walks back over to the group. She says it clearly, audibly for everyone to hear.
yeah. No worries. So, a short rest is agreed upon?
Is there any chance we can go back to the storeroom for this short rest? Just asking the group.
I can keep watch.
But it's not that, it's the fact that I've got probably the biggest keen sense of smell out of everyone, and this place stinks like I've farted.
Yeah, it's not as bad in here as it was in the room with the fresh and rotting bodies. It's like old death in this room. It's not like super stanky. But
Never
still,
mind, I'll stick my into my trunk in my pocket.
It's still pretty stanky, but not super stanky. But the question's been asked, up to the group.
Moriel can cast Basic Mist. It's a cantrip, so
Yep.
I don't know how a DM would roll until we heal everybody up.
The Beatific
Satisfactory.
Mist. How much heals does Beatific Mist?
2d4 plus 1.
Even though it's a cantrip, I mean, I suppose out of combat, I've always been a little wary of cantrip heals like that.
That's
sorta,
why I'm asking
yeah.
the question. That's why I'm asking the question.
Okay, I've never come
If it's a
across it
short-
before, myself personally in a game. Let's get some other DM's advice here. Baz, what do you reckon on that? Being a cantrip, I mean, it can be cast over and over again.
So you know me, with our game, I don't allow cantrip heals, but
Yeah.
if I was to do it, I would have a time limit on it, like an hour. So once per hour is how I normally
Yeah,
roll it. If you remember
that's-
with that one we had, the homebrew one, we did
Yeah,
that
well,
for
the
an hour,
gift of the Ashari was we had the one that I created could only be cast 3 times,
3 times
and
in
then
a day.
you would gain exhaustion, a level of exhaustion every
Correct.
time it was cast thereafter.
Yeah.
Because I'm much the same with that. So what I'll say is I'll allow you to cast it 3 times over the short rest, and it'll heal everyone. So we'll rule it that way, 3 times per hour. So you're going to take an hour's rest. We'll cast it 3 times, so roll 3 heals,
Yep.
and everyone will get the total amount.
3, 11,
Thanks, Sadiq. Good to see that too as well.
total of 15.
So everyone take 15 points of healing, and the rest of you, if you're going to take the short rest here, which is probably a good time for us to take a short break as well, you can use hit die to heal yourselves up. So what your hit dice is the dice you roll when you were doing your hit points. It normally states it inside your healing. So for JJ, I think your hit die as a fighter is a D10, I believe. Double check for you before we go to a break. Let's call it. Yep. Elba. Gotta click on the clicks and the things and the stuff. It's D10. So you have 5d10 available in your hit die pools, JJ. So you can use all of that 5d10 to regain health, or 1 or 2. It's up to you how many you use. But you can't use it. You can't use those dice again until you finish a long rest.
Yep, I'll just use one then. Do I just use the
Yes.
dice at the side? Like
Yep. Yep. So just roll a D10 using your roller there.
9.
So you'll take 9 further points of healing. So everyone else use hit dice if you've got them, and we will take a short break, and we'll be right back, chat.
So did you say we get 15 points from the computer?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So you get whatever you go for the short rest plus the 15 that I gave you guys.
Yeah. So Yanti, is that does that state that on Beatific Mist, or is that just
Beatific Mist.
or is that on my Gift of the Ashari? Because I think that's what we did on my Gift of the Ashari.
On Beatific Mist, it says this cantrip can be cast the number of times equal to your
Proficiency modifier. Okay, so there you go.
To short rest or long rest.
So what's your proficiency modifier? 3? There we go. So you're going to take a short rest, so you'll get it back. So that's cool. Well, that clarifies that anyway. I think most cantrips should be 3 times sort of max. But obviously, if it's based on proficiency, that'll go up as your level, which is pretty cool. So we're going to be right back, chat. Give us a couple of minutes. Hopefully, it may have been the issue with the volume, may have been with the background music I had on my end with the player's volume, so I'll be aware of that. Thanks, Sadiq, for bringing that up. But we will be right back.
charge in with the axe and surge. I was like, yeah, 4 attacks gotta be like a heroic.
It was
So,
close, dude.
no.
You got him down to 12
Oh,
in those
it was
attacks.
close.
The thing is, when it came around to his turn, he healed 20. Otherwise, you would have killed him.
Crap.
That
Yeah.
what's the source book Beatific Mist from? I can't find it any.
I think it's a paladin thing or a cleric thing. Might be a cleric thing.
It's cleric.
It's a racial. Not racial. Class thing.
Yeah. Definitely wasn't an epic heroic moment.
It actually seemed pretty good though, Cam, because you were able to action surge after being healed and paralyzed. You were able to action surge it. So,
We're back. So, chat, a bit of a battle there. Well played, team. A little bit of damage. So your short rest comes to a close without any disturbance. The sounds did echo somewhat in this chamber, but it doesn't seem to have alerted anything or anybody else at this point. Not that you can tell. So you'll seem a little better for it.
Question, DM, just a quick
Yes.
question. Would I be able to take off the splint and maybe with the pummel of the hilt of my sword try and bang out a couple of the dents of the splint?
Sure.
Just over
roll a...
Short rest.
Let's see. Strength or dexterity?
Probably more strength, I'd guess.
I mean, you
If
got
I
to...
see him tinkering with his armor, I'll go and help because
Okay,
it's kind
well-
of my thing.
It is your thing, indefinitely. Are you proficient with blacksmith tools or anything like
Hell
that? No. What about you, Vanessa?
Smithing tools.
So, we'll say strength with advantage.
Right. Just straight strength roll.
As Vanessa probably comes over and what do you say to him, Vanessa? You offer him your tools and give him a bit of advice?
Yeah. Oh, if you... No, not there. You need to, like, hit it there and then it'll raise up.
Captain's got to try and, like, as you're doing it, he's like, oh, what, here? He's going to smack it, hit his thumb, and go, oh, gee. You know what? How about you do it? I'm not too good. Oh, gee. My ribs,
Yeah.
I still need to bandage myself.
So with that, yeah, Bernessus, I'll give you a shot with add your proficiency to the check. Make a tinker check. So for you, it'll be dexterity, not so much strength.
$20.
Yeah, you watch him work, and he just takes it from you and doesn't brute strength it. Just hits it in just the right places. Doesn't take them all out. Definitely still going to need a repair, but as you put it back on, it definitely makes it feel a little bit more comfortable. Not so pressing against your chest where the giant had struck you across the chest with the axe.
That should hold for now until we get back to town and I can take another look if you need.
Much appreciated, I thank you.
No worries.
Mr. Mariel,
Are we all ready?
I, for one, am, and I, for one, would like to apologize for my stupidity in my heroic moment.
Like I said, it's unnatural what he was doing. You didn't know what was going to happen.
Well, thank you for your kind words. My pride's a little bit healed, so to speak. If it's all right with you, I'd maybe we can pick up the pace and make some lost time.
Agreed. Same formation as before.
All right. Alba, you doing all right?
Yeah, feeling good.
Fantastic.
Well done, everybody. That took a lot out of us, but we worked together to make sure it went down. Well done.
We had sort of that kind of formation, kind of. So, what is the plan?
Definitely gonna go up here and go left this time.
Okay, so move yourselves up to meet with Captain Moore, peoples. We'll get Captain Moore to stop there. So as the captain follows around my marker, you find yourselves now in a narrow corridor. It sort of narrows down, and Captain, you're now faced. There's just a curtain in front of you. It's a thick, heavy curtain.
Captain is just going to reach out with his longsword and just pull back the curtain ever so slightly just to try and glance a little peek on the inside.
So what you see as you do, you look in, you can see what looks to be a kitchen of sorts. Appears to be empty.
With that, he's just going to look back to the rest of the group, give him a thumbs up, and then he's going to signal that he's going to head on forward.
Should be able to walk through that wall, I think. Yeah. I'll set it up properly.
Steve's gonna look back at the person behind him and say, "Man, if this was any thinner, I wouldn't be able to fit through here."
Bit of a squeeze for you, Steve, to get through that little gap, but you're able to get through. So indeed, as you walk through into this room, you see a fireplace. Fire's going but dull, almost ready to go out. It's definitely been used at some stage over the course of the evening, prior maybe, or even the morning. Is some fresh and slightly rotting browning fruit on the table. Just down here you can see a bit of a bag full of fruit. Some of it's starting to brown and a couple of them are starting to rot. There's a wine rack over here with a few bottles. Only one full bottle by the looks, the rest are empty. Utensils, a large cage which is empty. But if you're sort of wandering around the room, and the floor of it, you can see probably there's a few items of clothing and they're bloodstained, a few old bloodstains on the floor of this cage as well. You can tell they've probably either had animals or people locked in this cage, more than likely for eating.
How fresh?
How fresh are the blood?
Mm-hmm.
Roll a medicine check for me. 17. Some of it's old. It's a mixture. You can see probably the most recent you would guess with a 17, maybe a few days old. The rest of it is pretty old. There's some really old staining there as well.
Thank you. I don't think there's much in here unless we want to look a little bit further, but as the good captain said, we need to make up time.
And with that, the captain's going to move up to the second door. And once again, just going to peer at it. And because he remembers Moriel saying something about the hinges, and if they're facing on the inside, that it can be moved. So he's going to try and look and see for that first and foremost.
So indeed, these doors open inward, so the hinges are exposed.
Great. He's going to turn back to Moriel and say, "I do believe that this is what you're after."
I think. Hang on. Inward. All doors open in. Yeah, I'd say you probably would be able to get to them from here. That wouldn't be easy, the way the doors are built into the wall. It's like the hinges wouldn't be exposed until the door is open, almost.
Okay. But
Is the door unlocked?
I'll check.
Just move the handle. Don't open it.
And
Jiggling the handle,
does
you
that,
can
yeah.
you can see that it's not locked.
Okay, so Moriel is going to cast Minor Illusion on the door to
Yes.
an exact replica of the door. So when it opens inwards, it still looks like a door.
Nice.
But the person looking through it can see exactly straight through.
Okay, so duly noted. You open the door and it opens into another hallway. So, Captain Moore, you said earlier that you believed that this would loop back round, and from what you can tell, just from what you're seeing there, you can see down what looks to be a long hall, sort of down this way, which you believe may be the opposite end of the hall that you traversed when you first came through. Potentially. There was other doors down that hall that you could see before choosing your path. But it also veers to the left.
Alright, so by the looks of things, if we go to our right, that will lead back to where we came in from. I mean, we can quickly check if that's the case, and if it is, we immediately come back, take our left. Or we can just take our left right now.
Just out of question, in this bag of fruit, are they apple?
It's a mixture. Apples, pears, peaches.
What sort of condition? They
Some of them are looking pretty rough. Like the best ones are probably starting to brown on the outside.
You find anything interesting over there, Steve? Should we have a quick look? Is it worth it, you think?
Steve's gonna pocket a couple of apples.
Yep. So Steve has a couple of bruised old apples. Still be edible. They might have some yucky parts, but you can bite around it. Captain Moore.
You just gotta stop there. You just gotta walk
Stop
out,
there.
stop there, peer around the corner.
You're going to peer around the corner. Roll a stealth check for me.
Okay. Not bad.
Not bad. So... Captain Moore, as you peer around the corner, you do see, and you hear a door close initially from up there. But you just see coming into view some humanoid figures walking down the corridor in your direction.
Amount of people?
Looks like 4, maybe 5. Looks like there's a strange looking animal with them as well.
Okay. The captain's immediately gonna put his back to the wall, and then Albo's in front of him. He's just gonna signal like this, and he's gonna go.
Elbow nod, look back to the same thing to everybody else.
Then he's gonna draw his long sword, try and just quietly, but just wait around the corner.
For
That's
those
the-
who couldn't see what Alba was saying, there would be a chat bubble with
But Narcissus will go
that message.
I love
towards
the chat. I
door,
love that.
the illusion. If you come on the other side of the illusion, they won't see us, and we can. And that's what he's doing. He's like,
Captain's gonna signal, go, and he's gonna start to move on back towards the illusion.
Start hearing the footsteps now as they move closer. They start moving down the hallway. So I'll need everyone to roll a stealth check to mainly for your ability to be quiet. So it'll be a group check. So it'll be an average. You got a nat 20 in there. Ooh. 12, nat 20, 25. We got a 24 with a nat 20. Double nat 20s. That's going to cover up Elba's 8. So average is pretty good. I'm just going to make a quick perception roll here. Okay, so you continue to hear the footsteps. They get closer. You can hear like panting or sniffing, like not unlike a dog. Not barking, but it's almost a low guttural sort of growl, but quiet. Nothing menacing, just sort of a quiet growl. You now hear the footsteps very close outside the door. You hear them stop, and you hear one of the cultists in common say, I think it's got a scent. You can hear the dog sniffing feverishly. Make another roll.
Cool. The captain's just going to stand at the ready, that if they do walk through, he's just going to slice.
Another one says, "Nah, I don't think it's anything. He does that all the time. Let's keep going." And they don't seem to notice the illusion. They haven't heard anything, and they continue onwards. Out of your view, and you hear doors open, and doors close, and the footsteps disappear.
We need to be on guard. What would you do in a situation like this, Captain?
Well, information is key. What we don't know is what they're capable of. So I guess we need to find out before we make a move. At least we know how many they are, and one of them had that creature that can smell us.
Just to give you guys a bit of context here. You had 4 robed individuals, not unlike the figure you see on screen. They were carrying weapons. You weren't sure what type of weapons, maybe dagger, short sword, potentially under their cloaks. The creature was dark-skinned and dark fur, but it had red streaks down its sides, deep red, almost burny red eyes, and looked like 2 rows of teeth, not just one like a regular dog, but distinctly you could see 2 rows of teeth as it sort of panted, looked and sniffed in the air before moving on.
Captain's going to say, well, from what I saw, they relatively have no defense. Robes, a couple of daggers. I would assume that they are casters, that being of the undead, which seem to be well versed in Mariel. And there was that creature. Ever seen one of those before? The weird dog thing.
Would that be a history check, DM?
For the weird dog thing, that
Yep.
would be a religion check, probably more than likely than history.
Oh, excellent.
So for
do
you, I
that.
think that's an advantage.
It is advantage. So I'll roll that again. Both the same.
What do we get here? 14. It kind of, with your teachings and who you are, it kind of looks like a hellhound, but not. It has similar look, but it definitely looks different than what you've seen.
Looks like a hellhound. Can't be 100% sure. There's something unique about it.
Okay, great. Well, I guess from here, we try and track him, get a good opportunity to attack, and then we do that. Get him on the pounce. Steve? Steve? Steve?
Steve.
Steve sticks his head around from behind the pole that he's standing on and goes, "See, I'm a master of stealth."
That is exactly what I think we need right now. Don't you, Moriel? A master of stealth.
So we're gonna pursue the people who just went past.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we could have attacked, but I wasn't sure what the plan was. I wasn't sure if we were in the right frame of mind.
Oh,
Didn't want
I
to jump
say,
the
look-
gun.
I say let's carry on. Unless anyone else has a better idea.
No, lead on.
Let's go.
Maybe if we're going to stealth, maybe I should go behind now, because I can't stealth for shit.
And with that, Moriel puts a hand on your shoulder and uses a guidance cantrip to give you an extra D4 on your chosen roll.
Okay, cool.
So, are you proceeding stealthily?
Yeah. The captain's gonna try and look for any tracks or residue or anything that would point in their general direction.
Roll investigation. So, I'll get everyone to roll stealth as well, please. This one's definitely going to be more of an individual. So, Mr. Alba, you'll be rolling at disadvantage because of your armor. Steve with an 18, Captain Moore with a 6.
How do I add what Magic's character gave to me?
Just roll a d4 on your manual roller. So
Roll stealth in the 4.
Yep, so roll a stealth check with disadvantage and then just roll a d4 and add the two together. Yep, so then roll a d4. It'll give us your total. So that's not bad, it's 18. So we've got 18, 6 from Captain Moore, 5 from Moriel. Holy crap. Natural 20 from Hex, and Vanessa 19. So, Alba and Moriel, Alba, Hex, and Vanessa are relatively quiet. The others, not so much. As you go through the door, Moriel, you hit the door with your shoulder as you run through, as you sort of walk through. Swings it closed and bangs it shut quite audibly. Captain Moore, as you walk out into the hallway, you sort of stumble, maybe effects of being paralyzed still a little evident in the body, and your armor clashes against the stone wall. Not loudly, but loudly enough that it may alert somebody, possibly, you're not sure. And who else was low? And that was Moriel and Captain Moore. Everyone else was pretty good. Funnily enough, Alba hardly makes a sound as he steps through and steps into the hallway. What was your investigation?
I got a 19.
19. You sort of look around. You can see where tracks are. Tracks lead through the dusty floor to pretty much the doorways here, so it's kind of hard to tell whether they're fresh or not because of the way the floors are in this place. You can assume with the doors that you heard, you know you got doors up here, so you can assume it's either definitely probably not that because they weren't moving in that direction. You got doors here, not sure what is down further down. You can assume maybe that was the doorways they went through.
Okay.
based on that. Pretty safe to assume that, I would say.
Okay. Either went that way, or they went down the hallway. I'm making a fair bit of noise. I don't know, I might go to the back if we need to be stealthy. Moriel, if we get an opportunity to capture one of these people, we should do so, and we should question them. Maybe try and gather some intel.
Very well. We can do that.
So with your permission, I might take up the rear.
Permission granted.
And he walks to the back, because he's making a shit ton of noise.
As you're moving around, you hear that growling, sniffing noise again from seems like it's close by. You would only assume it's coming from the other side of this door. And you hear a muffled voice saying,
Might I make a quick suggestion?
By all means.
I have a cultist cloak still. It's just here and it's under her cape. You can see she still had it. She put it on earlier and never took it off. I can pull it over, change my face, if we need.
I like it. I like it.
Then I can lead. She pulls the cloak up and changes her face. A grizzled-looking bearded man with rough hair.
Same as one of the cultists that you had before, or just one of your own?
It's as she's not going to mimic it perfectly. It's going to be similar to one of the ones she's seen before.
Okay. No problem. Duly noted.
She will then move to the front of the group and, assuming sort of quiet whispers, say, "Which way? Down or forward?"
You lead on. Where do you feel is best?
There should have been a manly voice I used. Excellent. I'll walk this way. She goes southward.
So you're going to go traverse the corridor. Let's make a quick dice roll here.
Main reason being she wants to check southward and see they're not going to get jumped if they try to go through the doors.
Okay, as you look southward, you can pretty much just zoom out. You can just about see what you can see with the lit torches. Down the end of that corridor is a stairwell which looks like it leads down with more lit torches. About all you can see from this point. Doesn't look like there's any doors at this point, so you can't really see beyond the stairs too well.
Telepathically to Moriel, she says, "Stairs descending."
I can see them. Well done. That does not sound good.
And again, you can hear that from... Definitely sounds like it's behind the closed doors.
Kill or calm? That's telepathically to Moriel.
If we can still capture one, I think that information would be valuable. But death is death.
Down the hall we go then. I could poke my head in the door and ask for aid from one.
You will need backup if something goes wrong. With that, he will put guidance on Hex, and we'll turn to the group and say that Hex is going to try and lure one out. I suggest maybe we just go back a little bit, as not to give too much away. But be ready if we need to back Hexakara up.
Hicks waits till they're back out of the way. She
Is,
Oh, yeah,
is
it's
the
probably
illusion
better.
still up? The minor illusion on those doors?
No,
Oh yeah, it is.
it's been enough time that it would have dropped.
Yeah, that definitely would have dropped by now.
It is.
She clicks open the door just quietly in her disguise, and can she see anyone?
You
Oh, she
can see on your map right there in front of you
Yep.
is one of these creatures that you saw passing the door. And it is
She-
looking directly at you, and it is growling.
She calls to one of the cultists in the distance and says, "Excuse me, I need a hand out here. Can you come and give us a hand?"
And one of the cultists moves forward. Sees that one comes around the corner here, up behind the animal. Looks at it, sort of, what? Looks at you. You see this guy. I need you to make a deception roll for me. He's looking right at you. He's eyeing you up and down like he doesn't know you.
Can I try and persuade him by speaking?
You can, if that's what you want to do.
I will. Deception's pretty good either way. I will say to him at the same time. I'll go deception or persuasion, up to you. But I'll say to him, "It's nothing major. Just one of those Otiug things has gotten in the way, and we're just trying to move it out. I just need an extra pair of hands." And I will try to. Your choice: deceive or persuade. Do you think?
I'd say deception, because you're definitely lying.
And I'll use
Kinda.
Moriel's. Is it D4? Is it Moriel?
D4, yep.
And he gives you a look, and the DC's relatively high.
18.
He looks at you and looks at Dog, looks at you, and he says, "We only have one."
Only have one what?
Otiak. Not more than one. So
Oh, are they breeding?
I can't.
Well, then
Who are you?
we have-
I don't know you.
I'm Jericho.
Jiro?
Jericho. Steven's my brother. Quickly now, we have got not much time to lose.
With that, I need you, X, as another cultist moves forward. This one's dressed slightly differently. I need to move him to a better position.
As the second one moves forward, Hicks needs the first cultist she was talking to make a wisdom save as she's charming him. She's doing it using a special skill where she doesn't have to make any vocal or somatic motions.
Okay, so wisdom save from him. Second, you will also need to make a wisdom save.
Right. $15 on mine.
Oh, I didn't roll that publicly. Natural 1 on that dude, so he fails. You also fail.
Oh dear.
So we'll resolve your one first. So he's charmed by you.
Correct.
You, even though your charm has succeeded, you are no longer able to move. You're paralyzed.
Sweet. As soon as I realise I'm paralyzed because I know he's charmed. I want to turn around and go back to the team with him. I say, "Come on then, just you will do." In my man voice, "Come on then, just you will do." But to Moriel in his head, I'll say,
Something's up. I cannot move, but one of them is coming.
And this guy says, "Sure." The other dude says, "What do you?" And then slaps him up backside of the head. He sort of goes, "What?" He says he's having trouble with the Otyag. And the dude in the different cloak says, "He's not one of ours. Something's not right here."
Yeah, Hicks is like,
We need to move.
Target made.
And with that, we will. When I just select everybody here.
I was gonna say, yeah, definitely on Moriel's. We need to move. Captain's gonna charge headfirst in with the sword.
Yeah. We're gonna get everybody to roll initiative at this point. Before we do anything, we're gonna resolve a couple of things before we go into the initiative order. So, first things first, shut this damn wolf up.
yeah.
It's getting a little annoying on a loop. Second thing, we will start the battle music and make sure our battle music's a little lower than before. Pretty loud. So, first things first. This dude, as the other guy slaps him up the back of the head, drops a lesser restoration on him, removing the charm. He sort of blinks and looks at you and sort of shakes his head, and you can see he's not happy. Second thing, you guys get the message from, well, Moriel, you get the message from Hex that the jig is up. Before anyone moves, Moriel, what do you say anything to your companions?
Yeah, I made it clear that we need to move.
Okay, so you definitely know the jig is up. We're all good there. So first up in this initiative order is this cultist here. He's going to come around a corner. He's going to come into here, interview as well. And you can now hear a series of voices and a series of growls. Steve, it is your turn first initiative order. Elba, you're on board. So you've heard Moriel saying we need to move from your position. You're not entirely sure exactly what's happened. You can't really see, but you know that something's not gone right.
Would I have heard it because I'm not in the same area as them?
He would have probably said it loud enough. I would imagine that it would carry across the hall. You're only about 15-20 feet away.
Alrighty. I'm gonna jump out. Oh shit! Not with the roller, I'm not. Jump out into the hallway, and then fire a bloody crossbow bolt straight over Hexcara's head. Oi! Straight at that guy there.
No problem. Roll
Straight through the bloody doorway.
Roll
Come
your
on, that one.
natural one, and
No,
all
it's
things
not.
will go bad.
That's what I'm hoping for.
That's what I'm hoping for. All things it'll be bad.
That's 21.
21, that'll hit.
Will I get sneak attack on that?
Yes, you will. I'll even give you advantage. Roll the attack again in case you get nat 20, because you've popped out from the door. So just the regular. So you get your sneak attack on top of that as well. So 13 plus whatever your sneak attack is.
20. So
20 total?
20 total.
It is a very good shot. As you step out and crossbow round the corner, you step out, fire, thunk, and it fires through, striking the guy just in his chest on his upper right, rocks him back a half a step, and Hex, from your position, you can see that's a good shot. Tell just by his breathing, he's probably been hitting a lung. He's not looking good at all. Is that you, Steve?
And I'm just going to move back to the doorway.
Yep.
So they'll effectively see someone jump out, fire an arrow, and then jump back in again.
You can bonus action hide if you wish.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of moving out of the way of people charging down the hallway.
Yep, I get that, but because you step back in, you can bonus action hide, so you can give yourself a bit of an advantage. So roll a stealth check. Because they know that someone's there.
10.
Natural 1. With a 10.
Yeah.
A natural 1, but it's a 10. So we'll take that under advisement. Next up is this guy. He has got you paralyzed with the whole person, so he is concentrating on that. You can make a wisdom save on your turn, I believe.
Yeah, it'll be the end of my turn. That's what they usually would.
So what he's going to do now is he's going to cast... Because you were paralyzed, you'd automatically fail a dex save, wouldn't you?
Correct, yes.
Okay then. So you take 6 radiant damage. And the paralyzed will, I believe... If he damages you, does it change? Oh no, that's whole person, it's not a charm. Yeah, so you take 6 points of radiant damage. As he casts Old Person at you. Sacred Flame, sorry. And not an auto crit if you're paralyzed? I don't think it is. It's only a thing if you're prone.
Just look it up, I'm not sure. I don't think so, no.
I'm pretty sure it's only if you're prone. So, 6 points of radiant damage to you, Hexakara. As you are at the moment unable to move. And this guy here puts himself into a position just around the corner. Getting ready to do something else. It is it from him. As a free action, he calls out, "If you have any friends, I suggest they step out now."
It's a critical hit if you're within 5 feet of me. It has to be a hand hit.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So it's just a 6 radiant. So that's cool. Elba, you're up with Bernassus on board.
Yeah, fuck it. He's gonna run out. Just would I've seen the guy go around the corner?
I'd say from your position, you've probably seen him pop out and move down that way. You won't know exactly where he is, but you definitely know that he's moved in that direction.
So I'm gonna go down. Let's see if I can find him.
You'll only make it... How much is your movement? 30 feet?
I think so. I don't know how to check.
Yep. It's on your character sheet. Top of the character sheet will have movement on there.
Yep, 30 feet.
Yeah, so you'll be able to get to there. So you will not be able to see him from your position, fortunately.
Yeah, we'll use my bow on that guy.
You can see, you can see the guy there, and you can see this dog-like creature as well.
I'll use my bow on the guy with,
By him?
Yeah, for some reason I've forgotten how to do that part. Yep, that guy.
Who's putting templates up?
Sorry, that's me. I didn't realize you guys could see all that.
That's okay. I'd get rid of it. So we got a 17, which does hit.
And a 6.
6 points of damage. Enough to finish him off. He was not looking healthy from the first crossbow bolt. Second crossbow bolt strikes him directly in the heart, and he drops lifeless to the ground. Is that your turn? You do get a second attack, I believe.
I'll try to attack the one that was just behind him.
You have enough range on that one, yep.
23
That hits.
with a 7.
7 points of piercing damage. Strikes him just in the lower abdomen. Good shot, but he breaks it off and throws the arrow on the ground. That is you, Elba. Bernassus, you're up. Moriel on board.
Alright, I'm going to do something a little bit fancy. We'll see if you let me do it. So I'm going to fly up,
I like fancy.
go past Steve. Steve, you're rottenest apple! And as I go past Steve, I'll have my hand out for an apple.
I'll chuckle an apple if I can.
I'll allow it.
In the very last bit of my movement, I'll move in next to Hex.
Are you able to move that far?
Yeah, 50 feet flying.
50 feet flying. Beautiful.
Yeah, just. And
You
I'll cast.
will see the cultist
Yep.
as well.
I'll cast down through the door Tasha's Caustic Brew using the apple, so I'll crush it in my hand.
Yep.
And push a 30 feet long, 5 foot wide stream of acid through the door.
Give me a marker we want to start.
So it'll start here.
And 30 feet long.
Yep, and 5 feet wide.
And how long does it remain?
So each creature needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Indeed it does. Cultist first. Shitballs. Let's show that to everyone. So 7, so he fails.
Mhm.
The doji. There's a 10, so I think that still fails.
Yep, so they're both covered in acid until they actually take an action to wipe it off.
Okay, so what damage are they taking?
They're taking
Does it say what damage they take on the cast?
acid damage.
Yep.
2d4 acid damage.
2d4? So roll that.
Yep, so that's 5 acid damage. And they take that at the start of each of their turns.
Unless they spend an action to remove it. Cool bananas. And how long does the acid remain?
It just says until a creature uses an action to scrape or wash the acid off. It doesn't say anything about the
I'll leave
acid
it there
off
for a
the-
round. I'll leave it for a round.
Yeah.
I think it would stay there for at least a round before it dissipates.
It says concentration up to a minute.
Oh,
So
well, there
maybe
you go. It
that's
stays
that.
there for a minute.
Yeah.
Concentration. So you are concentrating. So when you take damage, you must make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
To maintain. That is you.
Cool.
Moriel.
Hi.
X is on board.
All right. Why won't let me drag?
What are you trying to drag?
Oh, wrong house. If I click the right person.
You drag yourself.
Generally. All right. Okay, so with that, I'm going to cast Bane on creature there, creature there. I think that that's 30 foot. Hang on, let me see. How far is that? Too far.
Yeah, so you'll get the hound.
Unless I move up.
You'd have to move to at least, even then you still only get the hound. You're still 40 feet away from the cultist.
But I can see this one.
You can see that one, right on the corner.
Yeah, that one's 40 foot. Okay. Bane at the first level. I have to make charisma saving.
Hounds, charisma, the 6. That'll definitely be a failure. cultist. His charisma's a little higher. 14.
Oof. Okay, so said creature, whenever, yep, and any attack rolls or saving throws before the spell ends, the target must roll a d4 and subtract that number rolled from the attack or saving throw.
I believe there might even be a Bane on the list of things. Or not. I'll mark him as cursed just so I know. So here's Bane, subtract a d4.
Yep.
Is that your turn?
For now, yes.
Now, yes. Next up is another hound streaks forward from out of the darkness from around the corner. What is his movement speed? Move another 20 feet. See what you've got to do. He is going to dash. Out to you, Moriel. Around Hex. Through the door. Roll 2d4 for me, Grim, as it would have run through that acid. Cool, thank you. And it's going to pretty much stop there because it can't really do anything. Let's check its bonus action. No. Nope, so it's its turn. Next up, Hex, it is your turn. You can't do anything but make your save.
Wisdom save, was it?
It was indeed. DC 13.
Oh, just about. Rolled over. No, not this round.
Not this round, so you are still paralyzed, still unable to move. Next up is this guy. And here, he's going to take his action. Going to move. First, he's going to move out of the acid, move up to this door and open it, and he's going to spend his action wiping off the acid that is eating away at his feet and stuff. Captain Moore, your turn.
So he would have taken the damage
Yes.
just before he wiped it off. So
Would have. Roll the damage
Right.
again.
Captain runs there. And he sees this weird looking dog creature thing. Takes two big old swings with his longsword.
Big old swings at the dog thing.
First one at 12.
Miss. Dodges your attack.
Second one at 24.
That hits. As he moves, you sort of see it, and the backhand swing catches him.
Right. Okay. For a total of 11 damage.
11 damage. Creature growls as you strike it. Is that your turn? Anything else you can do? You got another attack, don't you? Oh, no, first one missed.
No, that was my attack. He's just gonna look at this dog and he's just gonna try and beckon it to target him by going, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty."
It just growls heavily, saliva, and so you can see its eyes aren't really eyes, but little balls of flame burning in the sockets. Next up is this one. Roll that damage again for me as it moves through, following his companion. The dog is not aware of the acid, doesn't really care, takes the damage and makes his attacks at you, Captain Amua. Actually, it's going to do this here. So I need Captain Moore and Elba to make a dexterity saving throw, please. DC 12. It will just miss you, Mario. as it takes a breath in and breathes fire forward. So Captain Moore, that's a failure. You take 21 points of fire damage. Alba, I need you to make a dex save, please. That's a failure. You take 21 points of fire damage also.
I would like to use my reaction to kind of get in the way and use a feature that I've got, if I can, to halve the damage called Interception Fighting Style.
I don't think you can with fire. If it was a melee attack, I would say yes. With
Fantastic.
flame,
Okay.
I don't think that you could put yourself in the way enough, unless you wanted to take half that damage again. I would say, if you're willing to put your body on the line for Elba's to save Elba some damage, you would take an extra 7 points of damage and halve Elba's by 7.
Yeah, all right, I'll do that.
You'll do it. So you will take 28 points of fire damage. Elba, you only take 7. Not 7, sorry. Yeah, we'll make it 7. We'll add an extra 7 damage. Should have made it. I should have doubled it. It should have been 38. But it's okay. We'll leave it at that. So you step in front of Elba, shielding him from this flame, but you take extra damage from it. It burns. It's hot. Flames directly from the pits of hell. And another cultist joins the fray as he steps forward. Top of the initiative order is another comes in and he jumps over the acid. He sees it bubbling there. Steve, it is your turn. These guys aren't going to do anything just yet. They're going to push their way into the hallway.
So is that area on the ground where they use fire breath?
Yes.
Is that still on fire?
No. I just removed it, so it's you're good to go.
Would I be able to push past party members to get in front?
Yes, the party members generally do allow you to move through.
Alrighty. I am going to. Whereas already on. Sweet. I am going to let the roll and move to there.
You wouldn't be able to push through the enemies though. You could get in. Yeah, you could get in within the group there and push past to attack. I wasn't
planning to. What I was planning to do is just going to break out my daggers and jump on top of that one there. If it'll let me hang it as an attack.
You want to try and jump on top of it. And
so basically, holding my daggers out, I jump on top of it and pull the daggers.
Okay. I'll allow it.
Where is one? And would I get sneak attack on that because I?
Yes. Plus, you got allies there anyway, so regardless of where you came from, they would have seen you coming, so you wouldn't have got from that. But it's all good. That will hit. It will.
And my alt one is 5 hit.
That's your offhand, so cool. So they both hit.
So my first attack is 8.
Plus your sneak attack.
Plus my sneak attack is 13, so that's 21 total.
21 total, and your offhand.
And my offhand is... Oh wait, sorry, not that. Oh, that doesn't matter actually. 4.
4, awesome. Done. I'd say you'd put yourself on that side of it. Easily enough. You're a rogue, even though you're a Loxodon and you're a little bit chubby. You're still a rogue.
If I'm fat, would it class as pinning it to the ground or?
No.
No.
It's
okay,
it's pretty dexterous.
Asking too much.
It's pretty dexterous. I sort of I was a little lenient on your movement there, so we'll leave it at that. Next up is this guy here. He is going to sort of see what's going on here. He is going to you're still, how far are you hovering, or have you landed, Benasis?
I would only just be maybe 10 feet off the ground, so
Okay, so that would be enough for him to scoot underneath you. So I'll put him beside you, but he's now scooted underneath you and is attacking you, Hex, as you are the source of his whole person, and he really doesn't like you. He is going to attack you as you are still paralyzed with 2 dagger attacks,
So he has an advantage.
which is at advantage with a 22 to hit
That hits.
and a 23 to hit.
Also hits.
So I don't believe that auto crits unless you're prone. So 9 points of piercing damage.
Any attack against a creature that is paralyzed is a critical hit if
Okay.
you're within 5 feet making hand
So in that
attacks.
case, then that will be, we will add the weapon's damage. So it'll be 17 points of piercing damage. You'll also need to make a Constitution saving throw as well, please.
Constitution. 12.
That is a failure. You will also take 10 points of poison damage. Well, not poisoned, however, just the poison damage. So that is his turn.
Ixakara would flop to the floor
And fall unconscious.
and fall unconscious. Fuzzy would also drop to the ground and roll away from her, unconscious.
Oh, that's just fucking creepy. And I'll tell you what, that is where we're going to call tonight's session, because this battle is going to go a hell of a lot longer than I anticipated. So that's probably a good place to stop. We can pick this. The initiative order is kept. The combat is kept. Great thing about Foundry. So we're going to call it there, guys. So you're going to have to wait till next week to see what happens in the remainder of this particular combat session, as Hexakara slumps to the floor, falling unconscious. Thank you very much, players. You guys are awesome. We've had a great night tonight. We're going to go back over to here to the title page. Thank you very much to the viewers as well. Tal, I love your comments, dude. They crack me up every time. It appears you have failed to notice the elephant in the room. Loxodon hiding, of course. So, as per usual, we're going to go around our players and get some moments from tonight's session, whether they be combat, story, or player moments, RP, whatever, doesn't really matter. Same with you, chat. At Evildoer, put a comment in the chat, we'll read it out. So we're going to start with Hexakara, the unconscious one.
My favourite thing, I think, was Benasis' caustic brew maneuver. Just whipping past, grabbing an apple and throwing it, the ash splash across the floor. I actually thought that was bloody effective. I was pretty happy with that maneuver.
Yeah. Mina agrees. Favourite part was Steve taking a rotten apple and Benasis remembering he had it, so he could do Tasha's caustic brew. Well done, indeed. Benasis, might as well carry on, since your name was mentioned.
Oh, thank you for that. Cuddling with Fuzzy and the captain's heroic stupidity.
Definitely. Of course. Mr. Muriel.
I'm going to say Hex and our attempt to get one of those cultists out to try and get the information that we needed. Unfortunately, did not go to plan, but
Yeah.
it still
It
worked.
was
It
okay. It was
a
close.
good moment.
It was really close. Like, what did you get on your deception? 15?
Something like that.
Something
I
like
can't
that? Yeah,
remember.
DC I set at 18 because the fanatics know the other cultists reasonably well.
I rolled low too.
Yeah.
I've
it's
got
crazy.
+7s on deception and persuasion. I just rolled low. I was having a really bad night for my
Yeah.
rolls, except for the stealth. For some
Yeah,
reason, I
stealths
had
were
2
good,
nat 20s
yeah.
on the stealths and
I
everything
mean,
else.
my rolls
shocker
were sort of up and
behaviours.
down
That
tonight,
was-
so it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Elba.
Right at the start, where Elephant Man just wanders into these thong. Last time everyone's seen him, he's mad at them all. He just goes, yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to go back in my thong. I thought that was funny.
Indeed. Steve and his thong dance. Ugh, that's going to scar people forever.
And that's it.
Steve.
I had a few, a lot have been mentioned already. The Tasha's caustic brew attack was awesome. The minor illusion on the door, making fake doors when it was technically open. I loved that. That was awesome.
Yep.
The chat bubble again, and really Baz's hairy face when he went into that. And Cam damn near fell off his chair in laughter. That's brilliant.
Awesome.
And a couple more. There's on Jericho, and he goes that.
Yeah.
On Jericho. Yeah, that was awesome. And
There was a reason for that, but it didn't get to happen.
No, unfortunately. I kind of figured you were going somewhere with it.
And that Tal's comment, that one that you mentioned at the start, that cracked me up as well.
The Loxodon one, yeah.
Brilliant.
Loxodon assassin hides in a room and backstabs an unsuspecting person and then says his catchphrase, "It appears you failed to notice an elephant in the room." Remember that one, Drax? That might be a catchphrase for the rest of the campaign. Or for the rest of the adventure. And roasted chicken. Cat more.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of them have stolen what I was going to say. But I also will add one thing. I actually love that Frost Giant zombie skeleton thing. I mean, I hated it for how much damage it outputted, but it was freaking awesome. I was sitting there the whole time going, I'm screwed, I'm dead. So it was great. It was fantastic. And now, I don't know. I also thoroughly enjoyed the leadership from Moriel and, just everyone sort of coming together as a team right at the start. And Steve's kind of forced hug moment. That was a good kind of moment. But yeah, that's for me.
We all know teamwork. We all know teamwork works. I mean, you generally in a lot of these situations, if you don't work as a team, you're going to get dead. Just that is how it is. But yeah, as I said, unfortunately for you guys, you decided to go that particular way with that particular group of people, and that fight is going to go on a lot longer than the 10 minutes that we kind of had left. So it's like, okay, where's a good place to pause? I was waiting for a moment, and then with Hex becoming unconscious, like, fuck it, perfect moment. We're going to stop it there. It's a perfect moment to say, hey, we'll take a break. We'll come back next week. But for me, again, just great RP. JJ, well done. Once again, my friend, getting into the RP, just jumping into it and having some fun. Awesome. Magic as well. Awesome RP from you tonight as well. And from everybody. I mean, just in general. Again, thank you for helping tell this little story to our viewers. Yeah, sure. I'll be in Discord. Tell, we want to jump into voice, man. No problem. I'll jump in. I'm gonna be on for another hour or so before doing. But yeah, so next week, Wednesday, Curse of Strahd, 7:30 p.m. in New Zealand Standard Time. Hopefully, the whole daylight savings things has been sorted for you, Aussie Australians, except for the Queenslanders who don't bloody have it. Tomorrow night we're gonna do some New World. Wednesday, Curse of Strahd. Not sure Thursday yet. Friday back on Yanti's channel. If we can get a shout out for Miss Yanti as well. Back over there for Stormlord's Wrath. And then obviously back here Sunday for more Dusk Hollow. So I kicked in as of Sunday. Awesome. So we should all be back to relative normality-ish. So definitely check out Yanti. Go check out Tel Maru as well. Magic the Gamer. Roasted Chicken. Anyone who streams, check him out. Chuck them a follow, hang out with them when you can, and it's always a lot of fun. Yanti was doing some New World yesterday. We're gonna do some more New World tomorrow. We have drops enabled, so if you have got the game, you want to get some skins, come and hang out. You'll get drops just by watching. It's all good. So we'll definitely catch that. We should look at raiding. Who's online, guys? Got any of our Dungeons and Dragons friendos on tonight? Aussie Devfro's doing a Just Trading. Dreaded GM's doing something. We might raid Dreaded. We haven't raided him for a little while. Still on. Where is he? There he is.
New Zealand.
That's loud. Right, so what are they still doing? Okay, they'll be running for 20 minutes. So we'll go over and raid them. I'm already famous. Hammerpan, piss off. Thanks for banning that, Yanti. We're all famous around here. Famous for nothing. We're gonna raid Mr. Dreaded. Type this in. Right, guys, click. We will see you tomorrow night for some New World gameplay over on Cressa in the AP region. So if you have got New World, you want to come and hang out, come and hang out. The details are on the Discord channel there, server, region, Marauders faction, and come out and hang out and have some fun. Until then, we will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.